1,573,934 news. We're your hosts. I'm Kyle, and this is Connor.
Kyle, I'm glad to be here with you today to talk about the civil rights movement.
I can't wait to get into this topic. It's going to be a long broadcast, but we'll get through it.
First, I want to talk about the accomplishments of both Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. First of all, they both changed the way we generally look at African Americans and segregation in general.
Martin Luther King Jr. caused workers to go on strikes, protests, and he made a lot of speeches about racial equality.
Yeah, Martin Luther King Jr. really accomplished what he was going for, and that was mainly with no segregation, and in the end, it helped a lot.
I agree, but Malcolm X also did some good things, and some bad things, but we're here to talk about the good things, just to stay on the bright side.
Malcolm X participated in many debates about racial equality on TV and on radio. He did some of the same things Martin Luther King Jr. did, but the main difference was in some of the debates.
I think that if Martin Luther King Jr. were to be in some debates, that would have helped him more, but he has had a lot of accomplishments.
Let's go to Braden, who is talking about why inequalities still continue today.
Braden, are you there? Looks like we have some problems here.
We'll try to get this fixed.
Welcome back to channel 1,573,934 news. We believe we have fixed the problem, and we can now go back to Braden.
Hello everyone. This segment is going to be all about why inequalities still continue to this day. Inequalities continue for a number of reasons, but we're going to talk about just two. One is the economy. Most of which were rich, you wouldn't be considered equal to those who were poor. You'd have different living conditions and almost whole different lives. Race is another inequality that goes on today. Because of our past, we have just not learned to be racist and unsegregated. Of course, not everyone is like that, but some people are. These things still happen because, like I said, we didn't break it up in the 1950s and the early 60s, and it just stuck. But back to you in the studio, guys.
I never realized how much inequality there was still in the world today.
Yes, honestly, I thought that most people were fine with people being different races.
Today we're going to bring in a special guest by the name of Colin to talk about the successes and failures of the civil rights movement.
Hey guys, how are you?
I'm doing terrible.
Great. First off, what do you think is one of the biggest successes of the civil rights movement in the U.S.?
Well, one big success of the civil rights movement is that most of the civil rights laws have changed and have given African Americans the right to vote.
I think giving African Americans the right to vote helped us tremendously, and it was a good idea, and it makes us more equal.
What is one of the negative effects of the civil rights movement?
Well, a negative effect is that during protests, people get severely hurt or die even if they weren't harming anyone else.
Yes, but we keep trying to make it positive in this broadcast.
We are going to ask you about one more topic before you go. What are your views on violent and nonviolent protests?
Well, I think nonviolent protests are better because when you aren't violent, it may teach the other people who are being violent not to be as violent as they are.
Violence is never the answer. It is, but I just have to say that. Violence didn't have many good things to do. A lot of people would be getting hurt all the time, and it's not really safe.
Yeah, I think nonviolence is the most effective overall.
Thank you for coming in today, Colin.
No problem. I'll see you guys later.
See you.
Okay, I want to talk about the struggle for racial and gender equality for the future generations. What do you think about this, Kyle?
A group named Congress of Racial Equality is one of the leading activist organizations in the early civil rights movement, but changed their focus to black nationalism. So I think that racial and gender equality is very important.
Straight to Braden? That's true. Let's go to political and social effects of the civil rights court cases in America.
So, today I have here with me a man by the name of Philip Randolph. He fought in court for better working conditions, rights for African American laborers, and wages. The case did not affect how much people were paid and proceeded to give people better working conditions in the 1960s. I am here with Philip Randolph himself to talk about his court case. Hello, Philip.
Well, Braden, I was in the court case about changing laws for working conditions and better wages for African Americans. I accomplished my goal by winning the case overall and helping African Americans as much as I could. It was a long experience, but I'm glad I did it.
That's great. Thank you for telling us about your court case. Back to you, Kyle and
Okay,
Kyle.
Kyle. 3 more points to hit. 3 more points to hit on.
Let's go.
And then we're done for the day. We can eat pizza. Did you know that?
After
We're
the
ordering
third?
pizza. Yeah, after the 3rd. So let's talk about the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment and what they do.
Alright, I know about the 15th Amendment, so you can talk about the 13th and 14th.
Okay. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery completely.
That's great.
No more white slaves.
What about the black slaves?
None of them either. There were no more slaves.
That's crazy.
None. The 14th Amendment contained 2 major provisions which allowed citizenships to anyone born or naturalized in the U.S. The Due Process Clause declared that any state, all 50 of them, even, yeah, I
Puerto
think
Rico,
there was 50. Puerto Rico isn't a state, you idiot.
Yeah, but
And the second one was the Due Process Clause that declared states not to deny any person without due process of law.
that is interesting. Now I'm going to talk a little about the 15th Amendment. The 15th Amendment was ratified in 1870. Contained 2 sections. Section 1 stated that the right of citizens to vote shall not be denied or abridged on account of race, color, or previous condition of servitude.
Let's compare civil rights movements race-wise. Whites and African Americans separated in every way possible, from schools to seats on bus to bathrooms even. I mean, you can't take a poo in peace.
Alright, that is true. Now let's talk about the final topic, and it is the history of apartheid in South Africa.
What's that, Kyle?
I don't know.
Well,
In
you gotta tell
1950,
me.
the Population Registration Act required that all South Africans be racially classified into one of 3 categories: white, black, and colored. The colored category included major subgroups of Indians and Asians. The apartheid most classified people in 3 different categories based on appearance. I'm Kyle.
I'm definitely not Connor.
And I'm Braden. This is channel 1,573,934 signing off.
Welcome to channel 1,573,934 news. We're your hosts. I'm Colin.
It's not your name,
You
but
say your own name wrong.
oh my god.
Some of the same things that Martin Luther King Jr. did. Any differences?
Stop it too.
There's. I really didn't read my lines at
We
all.
are going to talk about all of just 2. One is the economy.
Oh my
Economy.
Economic.
Their life is better than yours.
Braden, we're right here.
Somebody else will shoot with your hand. Braden.
15th. The 13th Amendment.
The turkey. Okay, Kyle. Only 3 more points, and we're done for the day, and then we can eat pizza. So first off, let's talk about the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment.
That was not my fault. That was actually funny though. You gotta admit. It's not my fault. I'm Kyle.